I think I'm recording. Hey gang, GP Customs here. Thought I'd make a video to help Bud familiarize himself with the Slingshot, plus many of the old parts that I met along the way back in 2015. Some are still with us, some are not, but I just wanted to show you guys what really is, what really is not on the GP Custom Slingshot. So this is for Bud, but for those that had questions, here you go. This is a base 2015 that I picked up, one of the first in the state of Florida. Me and Sticker Dick ran down and hit one dealership pretty hard. I think there's 3 of us from the original forum that I chased that dealership down in that truck, and we wound up with 3 of these. It's featuring basically that titanium paint, which gave me an idea because there should be a tie dealer, so it has plenty of tie on it. There's a lot of titanium fasteners on this, not stainless steel. Actually, I'll show you, there is some stainless steel on it. There's 8 screws. The rest of it is titanium. Anyway, features Motegi rims. I'd have to look at the offsets, gang. However, one of the questions somebody asked me about is where do we buy the rotors. The rotors are actually modified RX-7 rotors. They're drilled and slotted. So, happy thoughts. A lot of things you can do that does not require paying, $2 gazillion from specialists. QA1 shocks, one of the first sets. All you gotta do, they're just automotive shocks, folks. Take off the original shocks, get your overall length, and it's not hard to install fully adjustable shocks for under $1,000. But anyway, QA1 fully adjustable, very nice. I've had no issues with them, and they work just fine at the track. Full Painters Posse. They sent out this plaque when I was doing my run for St. Jude's. Amazing group of guys and gals. There's 4 silver screws on this side, 4 silver screws on that side. There's your tie. There's your stainless steel, gang. The rest of these fasteners, including suspension, brackets, and that silly little cap, caliper bolts, decorative fasteners, are titanium. Okay. Now, anywhere where you see something purple, I used aluminum on non-structural points. The rest of the stuff, titanium, folks. Tie, way to go. The theme on this was make it light and fast. It's normally aspirated, so a lot of carbon fiber went into a lot of it is off-the-shelf stuff you can get from the vendors. No problems. The hoops been re-powder coated. They have horrible finish. Hopefully they got that right, because 2015 it absolutely was hideous. Titanium on the carbon, titanium on the carbon fasteners, and as you can see, the theme is carbon fiber. Titanium on the steering wheel bolts. So titanium on fasteners for the foiled mirrors, radar detector, carbon fiber convex mirrors. All the fasteners on the mirrors, including mounting points, have been replaced with titanium. But there you go. Sticker Dick had this idea. We're going to call this a sling ray. But anyway, adjustable seats with sliders, so they both adjust. Bud, your wife and you can make them as comfortable as you want. Driver's side has lumbar, so it has a bladder that fills up on your lumbar. So if you need to release it, hit the button. It'll let the air out of the bladder back here. Pump it up if you need more. Probably need to buy another one of these little valves. It's just like a high blood pressure, bulb. So you can steal one of those, put it on, or you can contact the manufacturer and get an accessory. It's just a little tiny little delicate piece of rubber that has died in the heat in between you originally wanted to pick this up and your state saying screw you. There's the Mustang gauge cluster that people were trying to figure out what to put on these, and I remember a Mustang that once upon a time I had. And there's the Mustang application for additional gauges, which really helps. You got a lot of extra bits and pieces, including original dash pieces. If you want to turn this back to original, there's a couple of extra glove box which are stock buds that you can put it back to original. This is all real carbon fiber. The reason for the overhanging tray here is you've got a Garmin that goes with the vehicle. Suction cup, sticks nicely to this high gloss carbon fiber and gives a good display right in here. You got a bracket here for phone, so you can Bluetooth anything in that you want. These are racing mirrors, not race look-alike. These are racing mirrors. So any adjustments that you make on this, you want to do from the inside the cab and have somebody help you. Once you make the adjustments, tighten everything up. This has a set screw underneath, so it also has a set screw on the top of the foil, and there's a removable rubber stopper there to also apply tension. So once that's set, you will see behind you on that foiled, it's actually got an aero foil on it, but it does not vibrate as much as you would think it would. And the side mirrors, convex, you will see your sides very nicely with a convex view, and they don't vibrate as much as the original stock pillars that were stock on this thing, believe it or not. But you'll get a nice view. Just you'll need some help to get them set up so that they're aesthetically pleasing and level. But once you got your view set up, just be mindful that as you bump them, which you will, you'll have to reset them. Carbon fiber is the theme. Adjustability. There's storage behind each one of these seats. And as you can see, there's the normally aspirated motor with a carbon fiber fresh air box. Lights have been relocated, Canadian style, so it gets plenty of fresh air. Everything's fresh. Oil, air cleaner. All you got to do is drive it. It has one temp colder set of plugs in it. I ran rather high RPMs, enjoyed myself greatly on the Coronado Trail out west. Every pass that I got to, I played as vigorously as I possibly could because it's just my nature. Original plugs are in the glove box. Pop that glove box open. You'll have information on the filter you want to use for your oil. I use Mobil 1 in this. It's great oil. The filter, it's a brand new filter, brand new oil. So you should get about 3,000 miles. Some people run them longer. I don't. But that's up to you. And the original stock one temp hotter plug. The factory plugs are in the glove box. I'm getting back over here. Ported polished throttle body. All the fasteners in the engine compartment are titanium. Right down the latches. There's a trick on the latches too. It does have a baffled catch can. There's no oil in it, but it's baffled, so if anything weird should happen. Has a oil cooler, a real oil cooler, and it's mounted in the front. It's dropped and offset against, not up against the radiator, out of the way. It has an additional vent underneath the car. I'll show in just a little bit as far as getting air to it. So, and it's off camber, so it doesn't interfere with the radiator. It runs much cooler. Oil filter locations right here, out of the way. Nothing's gonna zap it as far as road debris. So some people sticking oil coolers in here, why I don't know, but happy thoughts. Your oil filters here, getting it in and out. You might have a few expressive metaphors, but it's easy. It does make a little bit of a mess, so keep your cleaning supplies handy. And if you do get oil on this electronic power steering unit, there's a switch back here. There's a connector. If oil gets on it, it'll trigger a light on your dash. So my 2 cents is, after you change oils and get everything snug, you just make sure you clean everything really well before you put the filter on, or after you put the filter on. It's easier with it off. but clean everything up, including the connector, and you won't have any light, and you'll have a happier experience. Anyway, so that's where that is. All the fasteners on suspension are titanium. Where they're not load bearing, I used aluminum, but the brackets are carbon fiber. No steel on it. There's a set of modified QA1s, titanium fasteners on them. I mean, everywhere you look, it's titanium, not stainless steel. So, tie. That is the goal. So as you can see, even places you wouldn't expect it. But that was just a throttle body, intake manifold, valve cover courtesy of Posse's Painters. Well, the painter and his posse, sorry. Painter and his posse, amazing group of guys that brought me out of a really dark spot when I had cancer. I was going through chemo. I showed up at my house one day. I came home, opened it up, and before I felt better, I had already had it installed. Trick, there's 4 latches. So when you drop the hood, sometimes it doesn't want to latch and engage. One trick, I'll tell you, is this lever back here. It's depressed to open up the hood, and when it's released, there's just enough drag on the cables to make a pain in the ass. They may have fixed that. You notice there's also a tie on that adapter and that lever. But nonetheless, if it's when you open up the hood, before you close it, just bring it all the way up, and it'll make for those latches to actuate a lot easier. So, cleaner. Everything's clean and ready for you to just drive it. It's got fuel in it, so I want to make this experience as positive as I can for you. There's the vents that was put on it. Get rid of that high pressure in the wheel wells. And more tie. Catch again. We took it to the firm. More tie. And then a Johnny V, a real long tube header. I did put car chemistry, two disc baffle in it. It sounds like a Formula One car when it comes onto the pipe. It's very pleasing to me, not so much maybe to my wife, but maybe you'll like it. You can replace the baffle. Car chemistry makes them. I just was trying to make it a little bit more street friendly or wife friendly. Aftermarket is kind of the theme. When you get bored, you start to do things. Let's see. Oh yeah, rotors. Get to the rotors. Let's just give you a brief walk around. Rotors, if I didn't already cover it, the rotors sitting on behind these Motegis, they're off a Mazda RX-7. Drilled and slotted, so no $1,000 rotors. I understand why people pay what they pay, but happy thoughts. If you're mechanically inclined, this is really a great vehicle. And that's the real leather e-brake kit that I was selling to raise money for St. Jude. Actually, this one here I took and made out of billet to try and mimic an NRG when I first started doing this. But it took so many man hours to make that thing on the lathe that I just was using NRG handles and then the real hand-stitched leather boot. And thank you everybody that bought one, because you guys helped raise over $8,000 when we arrived at St. Jude. And a one-off short shift that I made on the lathe, and the ball was made by a friend of mine that has since passed away, Mr. Win Belaruski, an amazing racing buddy of mine. So that kind of is about it. Gives you kind of a rough idea of the vehicle, an overall look. I'm sure I left out a half a dozen things. I just want to give you a feel for what is about to arrive. I mean, some places I put titanium because I just had nothing better to do. But it does come with spare parts. So there's a spare valve cover that's hydro dipped in carbon fiber. The original vent that I made way back, it's Cerakoted. There's a zero gravity vent that Craig made. There's a stock vent. There's a set of Brembo pads, but they don't just drop in. They do require a little tinkering, but they're nice pads. A few pieces of stock bodywork. In the factory coils, there's some brand new trim pieces. If you prefer the metallic trim on the interior slingshot, a spare windshield, original rims and tires with maybe 300 miles on them, one spare Motegi with the tire on it. Tire caught the edge of the inside of the tire caught well, a piece of tarmac, kind of clipped a piece of the tire, and it put a small ding in the rim. Holds airs true, straight, but rather than deep six it, send it to Cosman if you want. You got a spare rim and tire, and nothing wrong with it, but you send it to Cosman and they can fix any alloys, so don't throw any alloys away. But that's about it. That's all I can think of. This has been a long while. I love this vehicle very much. I hope you take good care of it. It's seen a lot, and it's done a lot. Anyway, gang, hope you appreciate your toys. I'm gonna miss you all. Thank you.